So here we have 5 things you can stop doing on LinkedIn today. So we're all about making it easy, as we say, and lots of people are constantly telling you what you should be doing. Do this, do that, you know, how to be richer, thinner, fitter, healthier, what have you, always being told what to do, and it can be a bit overwhelming. So we thought we'd start by freeing up your time and telling you 5 things that you don't need to be doing on LinkedIn because it won't help you attract clients.
Yeah, the first thing is stop consuming and start being a producer. So we get told time and time again by people that, they don't like to do social media, they don't like to be on LinkedIn because it wastes too much of their time, they're scrolling, a few minutes turns into an hour, then they read this article and that article, and we're sort of telling them, well, don't do that then. Jump on, have a, make a few comments, warm up the algorithm, then put your post out there, then go away, do what you need to do, and come back 4 hours later, then engage. Like, get, you own, being in control, don't just consume on it.
And on our 90-day online course, one of the modules we talk about is something called habit stacking, which I got from a fantastic book called by James Clear called Atomic Habits. I don't know if anybody's read it, but it's worth reading. So we help you to stack it to other habits and to do it really quickly and easily and not be stuck in that scroll hole time and time again. The other thing is to stop DMing and answering DMs. So people will tell you that to make a connection request, you should send a personalized message as well. And so you've got to review their profile and think of what you can say, or cut and paste a message and make sure you change the name, because we've all had them where they've got the wrong name on. So how much time does that take? And actually, don't do it. Just send a connection request as it is with no message, because what can you possibly write that doesn't even look like a cold sale or a warm up to a cold sale? I get messages all the time and I'm not interested in any of them, but I'm happy to connect with people who want to connect with me, because I'm out there to talk about my business, to find out about other people. So of course I'm going to accept all those connection requests. So don't also think you have to answer DMs. So if you think about how many spam emails you get a day in your inbox, you don't reply to any of those, do you? You don't go, well, thanks very much for that offer for whatever, but really I'm not interested today. You just ignore them. It's exactly the same on LinkedIn. So the people that think they have to answer all those DMs as well, most of them aren't even to humans, they're to bots. And I had a message the other day saying that they're trying to get 10,000 people together to start messaging on behalf of a business. And I just thought, God, 10,000 random people sending messages out. How can they possibly understand your business or care?
Yeah, throwing off mud at it so nothing can stick.
Yeah, so don't respond to them and don't send them. You will not be disadvantaged.
Only send them if you already know them already and you're like, oh, hey, you're on here too. Or if you've seen something, like actually, Stephen, when I originally was messaging it, if you've seen something on their post or you've commented on something, then, so actually just connect first, and then you watch their content, let them watch your content, and then when something is relevant to strike a conversation, then start. But just because we want you to stop doing things, wasting your time, don't worry about
one thing I'll tell you, that's a huge problem that I see on a daily basis, that random people just constantly message me just for pitching their services, but where's the human interaction?
I thought you'd love this link. It's like, you're never going to click that link, are you? So
I get people saying, can we help you with your social media? And I think, well, clearly you're good at what you do then and have read my profile, and it's just completely turns you off, doesn't it?
I do answer them. I just voice note them and I go, hey, does this cold spammy way of messaging work for you? If not, send me a message and we might be able to, because if they really need to join the Get Savvy Club world, so not a lot get back to me, because obviously it's bots, isn't it? It's not, it's not even real half the time.
But it's also there's also the gurus out there that are talking and educating people to do this type of things, like the touches. Send them a cold connection and then follow up with a soft pitch, and then these are all these people they're listening to, and then you have all the masses just reaching out thinking that's the way to do it. But
and buy our templates of how to write the perfect message and all of that, and you don't need to try it for 3 months of not doing it and see what happens. You will not affect your acceptances and your connections. We're about attraction marketing, so we teach a way that will use your content to attract your ideal client to want to buy from you, because we all love to buy but nobody likes to be sold to. So that's kind of our ethos, really.
Stop overthinking connections as well. So especially when some people, when they first start working with us, they somebody requests to connect and they think about it and they look, are they their ideal client or not? We just say, no, you've got 30,000 people that you can connect with on LinkedIn. Just accept whoever. Obviously, if they've got their profiles in Japanese and you can't speak Japanese, it's not a good match. You're not really going to like get to know each other or very well. But connect with everyone. If they end up being a weirdo, you can, block them.
Which is much less likely on LinkedIn than any platform, I think.
Yeah, so you can't, and also it's not about, when you go networking, you don't need to meet your ideal client to get business. You just need to meet somebody that maybe knows your ideal client or can introduce you. And that's what this is. It's just one big online networking opportunity here and to build your audience. So don't overthink who you're connecting with.
Yeah. And don't overthink your posts as well. So every day you don't have to come out with a great big long researched informative post that will help everybody and talk about you in the best light. Some days you won't have much time. So, just put out a question, just put out a 2-line post saying, what's on your to-do list today? Here's what I'm going to get done, and see what happens. You don't always have to have war and peace and perfection every day. Just think about what you're doing and try and mix it up. Sometimes do a long form post where you use all of your characters, and other days when you haven't got much time, put out something that's a bit more personal, or just, when we can be going out and about again, just put a picture of where you're going, a client you're visiting or something like that, and go, here's what I'm doing today, and put that out. It's just about being visible and showing up every day. It's not about writing something that's going to be, an award-winning piece of writing.
Yeah. And the 5th thing, stop paying for LinkedIn. If you pay for LinkedIn, just stop. You don't need to pay.
It's not cheap.
Yeah, a lot of digital marketing companies will tell people to pay for LinkedIn so that then they can do their spamming bots in the background with their, all their tech. But if you are a small to medium-sized business, that you are the business effectively, and people are going to buy from you, there's no need for you to be paying for LinkedIn. Just connect with Anita and I, and you'll get over 35,000 second-degree connections anyway, just from doing that. So, and that's what it's about. So, and as we've said, because we're not going to be DMing or answering DMs, all LinkedIn paying for LinkedIn gives you is the ability to email people. People don't want to have those emails anyway anymore.
No.
It used to work back in the day in recruitment, because you could, if you're not connected to this brilliant candidate and you want them for that job, obviously if you can get an email and get in front of them and say, hey, I've got this great job, then it's kind of worth having. But it's not worth having just the average business. I mean, I've never paid for LinkedIn and been on it for all those years.
Yeah.
But we used to have like one person in the whole of the recruitment agency that had the functionality of paying for it. But we just used to jump on and use that one.
And I would actually like to add one thing to this. We should have done 6 things you can stop doing. But another thing you can stop doing
is the same ring though.
No, it doesn't. Is worrying about your metrics. So stop worrying and looking at, how many views, how many comments, how much engagement. Oh, this post went out and it didn't have much engagement. Don't worry about it. It's about the long game. Like I say, you can't put a post out and then start selling instantly. It's about playing the long game. In the same way that when you go networking, you build relationships with people before they feel comfortable to either work with you or recommend you. That's what you're doing on LinkedIn here. So stop caring about the vanity metrics that social media managers will start saying, we've got more engagement, we've got more connections. None of that matters until you start getting leads in and money in the bank. That's all that matters. So, don't waste your time looking at all of those graphs. Just say, am I making money on LinkedIn? Am I getting people coming wanting to work with me? No, then I need to do something different. So that's,
well, it's like you said earlier, like you don't know who's actually watching your content, and they might be liking or commenting, but they are watching you and they are engaging, and then eventually at some point they'll convert to actually become a prospect or a buyer.